was listening to the commentary, and I swear to you, it seems as though nobody knows anything about the Jamaicans. Nobody knows anything about the Jamaicans. And I wonder why. Why is this happening? You know what I mean? And as I said, maybe if you're non-Jamaican, you don't hear it. But I expect better, I think, from Sanna Richards Ross. I think I expect better from her. But not even she. Not she not even know what I going with Oblique Seville. I'm like, come on. He's one of the premier sprinters and she's over there mumbling and cackling. I'm like, okay, child, what is this? And then Anson Henry. Okay, let's move on. Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Grand Slam Miami Day Dress. Wow, exciting. It was exciting. Well, all 3 days were exciting to be fair. Clearly we had some performances that made you go, huh, what's going on here? But that being said, guys, really exciting 3 days of action, and I'm going to give you my review on what happened for day 3. Now, let's dive into the men's short sprints because that is where it's at. And literally, this is what I've been dying to see. Now, I know some of y'all, based on my thumbnail, because I'm thinking of my thumbnail from now, are running over here to say, see, she's so biased. No, I'm not. Now, in the men's 200 meters, part of the short sprint, so we had the 100 meters go down yesterday, 200 meters ended the show today with Kenny Benerick running a world lead in the men's 200 meters, 19.84 seconds. Now, behind him in second place was Zarnell Hughes running at 20.13 seconds, a season's best for him. And behind him, just, shy, some thousands actually, was Oblique Seville running a personal best track is 20.13 seconds. Now, from a money perspective, Oblique Seville finishes in second overall, and that is a massive, because I had to pull up back my Grand Slam money because I keep forgetting how much money these people win other than the 100,000, right? So in second place, he walks away with a massive track is $50,000. So fantastic for Oblique Seville. Now, of course, we also had Akeem Blake, and he was fifth overall. In that 200 meters, he ended up being eighth with a 21.09 seconds. So for his fifth place, he walks away with a whopping 20,000 K. So great going from our Jamaican athletes. Clearly, Kenny Benerick, I said this from yesterday, he walks away with 100. There's no way anybody is challenging him over the 2, and that pretty much played out. But trackies, this is where I'm excited. Now, some of y'all may think I'm excited over the time that Oblique Seville clocked, being that he clocked a personal best. Y'all know how I feel about that track. It's not going to change. However, this is what I need to see from Oblique Seville. This type of intensity, this type of execution. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you, just watching him over these past few meetings, I can tell you he's heavy like lead. Like watching him, it looks like he can barely lift his legs. And if you watch him also around the curve, given that he's one of the best starters out there, there's no way he's so far behind, coming off the curve. But what I really appreciated is what he did towards the end in that final 50. He didn't give up. He actually caught back up to Zarnell Hughes, seemingly overtook him, and then, Zarnell was like, oh, hell no, I'm still fighting for this, you know what I mean? And it was pretty much tooth and nail between both of them, barely, as I said, separated by the thousandths of a second. But this is what I want to see from Oblique Seville. Strong, solid, executing. And trackies, as I said, to me, look like no speed work are going for Oblique Seville. Now, Glenn Mills is playing it very smart. He understands that Grand Slam is having these athletes run 2 events. He's not having the Oblique Seville, quote unquote, burnout. Not only Oblique, because clearly you see Zarnell there as well. Not having them burnout by, having them, peak too quickly. So as far as I'm concerned, just looking at it, I don't see no speed work. So you see when Oblique Seville, he's more fleet-footed. Let's put it this way. He's not the, I guess, long stride type, but he looks really, light on his feet and fleet-footed when he's really peaked and ready to go. And I have not seen any of that from Oblique Seville so far in 2025, which is telling me is heavy like lead. Other than just looking at him and physically seeing that he looks big, and you can clearly see from his physical form as well that he looks like he's running loaded. Listen, from a technique perspective, when you're looking at him and how fleet-footed he typically is when he's in full flight, I'm just telling you all, watch out. Watch out for Oblique Seville when we get to that 100 meters. And I'm not talking about that 9.84 that we saw, with that positive 2.4 meters per second wind. No, I'm talking about 9.81 that should have been 9.7 long time ago. That will be 9.7 when he lets loose. I'm excited for Oblique Seville based on the fact that I'm seeing that he is so much stronger. That is what is exciting me. Not this new personal best track is. And yes, the track is the track. You know what I mean? I was just going to move on from there and jump over into now the women's equivalent. Now, I did actually do a recording on this video yesterday, or this race yesterday, sorry. But when I went back to, edit the video, input the little snippets, the video was just, glitching all over the place. So I was like, okay, to hell with this. I'll just do another video about it today. So here we are, the women's short sprints where Gabby ended up taking the win, running at 21.95 seconds. We had Tamari Davis second, 22.05 seconds. And in third place, Melissa Jefferson Wooden, 22.15 a PB as well. Now, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to, ridiculousness of what's going on this track. We have Tamari Davis literally just opening her season running a personal best in the 200 meters. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? But that being said, track is Melissa walks away with the fantastic, double. So she won in Kingston, 100 and 200. She didn't win the 200 here, but it was enough for her to walk away with the double win. She was third, as I said, in that 200 meters with a new personal best. I am eyeing the times, as I said, no cap. But that being said, still a fantastic showing. And funny enough, I think I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm coming out of these meetings, watching her at Grand Slam, slowly but surely falling in love with Melissa Jefferson Wooden. Yes, I'm falling in love with her. I love when athletes are technically sound, and she just looks fantastic to watch technically. I really rate Americans and running technically well because they tend to look like they just run. However, you know what I mean. I really see a strong focus on from a Jamaican perspective, or some Jamaican coaches really focus on getting technique right, and for Melissa Jefferson Wooden, watching her, from before versus now, she looks really, really good. So one thing I can say is based on these performances from her, I'm expecting her to have a fantastic season. And you can tell that confidence is also exuding from her. A medal will do this to you. A medal at the Olympic Games will do this. So great going from her. And as I said, I am slowly but surely, can't believe I'm saying this, falling in love with her. But, let's get things straight. When it's her versus any Jamaican on the track, a Jamaican straight see him win. You know what I mean? So jumping on over to the women's 400 meters, this one was very, very spicy. Well, did I say women's 400? Sorry, women's long sprints and the 200 section of the long sprints. Now, Mary Lady Paulino, Jesus Christ, those strides are absolutely ridiculous. She didn't come to play. She was bitterly disappointed, I could see, based on the performances here in Miami, in Kingston, based on how she played. She was third in the 400 when she was expected to maybe win or challenge Salt. Wow, Gabby outdid her there. And then, of course, she came what was it in the 200? I think she came second in the 200 in Kingston. But here she turns up and she not only wins the 4, but she also wins the 200 meters, and she runs a national record 22.30 seconds. Now, Salwa was second in that 22.53, and in third place was Isabella Whitaker, 22.76, which was a PB for her. Now, we had behind Isabella Whitaker Nikisha Price finishing fourth, 22.77 seconds. So I really liked that. And of course, Stacey Ann Williams was seventh, running at 22.98 seconds. So I really saw hunger and drive and determination out of the athletes. And I'm talking about the Jamaican athletes here. I really liked seeing that Nikisha Price is starting to get back into the thick of things, because these girls are moving, right? And she needs to start being with the pack again if she wants to be a part of the conversation when we get to that 400-meter lineup come, World Championships in September. To how it's looking right now, it's looking like Marlady Paulino, Salwa Eid Nasa, and nobody can test. That's literally how it's looking. So if, she wants to get one of those medals that are on offer, and it's going to be hard to get, she has to make sure that she's getting into the thick of things. I think she started her season pretty slow, but she's clearly warming into things. I liked how she attacked this 200 meters, and I can only see her going up from here. As I said, Marlady Paulino, Absolutely crazy. I just saw that some long, extremely long strides coming off the curve. I was like, what a curve she ran. And then it just got even more intense from there. Her final 50, she blew everybody out of the water. Salwa really wasn't able to get back at her. Even though the times, there's not much difference when you look at a 20. Well, it's a big gap, but not really a big gap, if you know what I mean. 22.30, 22.53. But she just looked imperious, right? Salwa was disappointed actually in her 400-meter outing. So watching how Mary Lady came out in this 200 meters is making things interesting in my mind now, because you typically think that Salwa is the one with the really super fast 200, especially how she runs the 400. But it looks like Mary Lady is getting into potentially making sure that when she attacks that 400 meters going forward, she's attacking it not only in that final two, but also from the first 200 as well. And her strides, I mean, one of her strides is probably to us all was, as far as I'm concerned, how she was galloping in this 200. But really really exciting, and of course I'm looking forward to the competition as things progress with these ladies. Now, in the women's 400 in the women's long hurdles, the 400-meter section, we had Sydney McLaughlin Leveroni take the win. She ran out season's best 49.69. No surprise there, she's head and shoulders above everybody when it comes to not only the 400-meter hurdles, but also the 400 from a hurdles perspective, right? So she dominates the hurdlers in the flat 400. Anjanette Knight came through for third, 51.80 seconds. Interestingly, Anna Hall beat her for second in that flat four. But overall, Anjanette walks away with that second place spot, another big 50K. So I'm excited for Anjanette Knight. And Cheyenne Salmon comes through in fourth place, and she will walk away with that fourth place money. $25,000. So our Jamaicans there walking away with some nice cash, nice, as Akira Nugent said, 100K for my birthday. No, I lied. That's not what she said. She said 100K for 23. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for these athletes and the earning capability that they're getting out of Grand Slam for sure. All right, so the final event that I want to touch on is the men's 400. Oh my god, I keep saying the wrong thing. The men's long hurdles, the 400 meters section of the men's long hurdles, where we had Alison Dos Santos walk away with the win. I definitely think he stands head and shoulders above of everybody else. I hear he's ridiculously fast. Tall, sorry. Maybe like 6'7" or something. I don't know. I hear he's really, really tall. So I don't really potentially see anybody, beating him, especially if it's not Karsten or Rai. I don't see anybody beating him in the 400 hurdles, or the actual flat four, given what I'm seeing so far from him. He runs a personal best 44.53 seconds to win the 400. So great going. In second place was Christopher Robinson, or Chris Robinson. He ran a 44.86. And in third place was Caleb Dean. He ran a 45.18. Now, from a Jamaican perspective, Malik finished fifth in that 400, 45.81, but fourth overall, meaning he walks away with, what was that, 20K? I think that's, child, I'm forgetting these monies. Fourth, 25,000. Right. So he walks away with 25,000 for his fourth place overall. So as you all know, Rashawn Clark unfortunately pulled up in the hurdles, which means that he took no part in the four flat. So yeah, we're just wishing him speedy recovery and hoping that he's able to get back in time for trials, and of course later on the world championships. Keeping our fingers crossed. All right, so guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think about the events that transpired at Miami? I think I heard, disappointingly, I was listening to the commentary, and I swear to you, it seems as though nobody knows anything about the Jamaicans. Nobody knows anything about the Jamaicans, and I wonder why. Why is this happening? You know what I mean? And as I said, maybe if you're a non-Jamaican, you don't hear it, but I expect better. I think from Sandy Richards Ross, I think I expect better from her, but not even she. Not she. Not even know nothing what going with Oblique Seville. I'm like, come on, he's one of the premier sprinters, and she's over there mumbling and cackling. I'm like, okay, child, what is this? And then Anson Henry. Okay, let's move on. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.